What's up, guys? It's Demon Duo, and today we're going to be doing part 6 to What If Tanjiro Was a Demon. And let's just get right into the video. Okay, so to recap, what happened is that Akaza and Tanjiro have just killed Rengoku and the Wind Pillar Tengen. So after this, Akaza agrees to let Tanjiro eat all of the Hashira's body parts. And after this, because Tanjiro was a part of the group who killed 2 Hashiras, he is immediately promoted to Upper Moon 6. And the other Upper Moon 6 was just demoted. Daki and her brother are no longer Upper Moon 6. So Tanjiro realizes that he's been keeping a lot of power hidden away from Muzan and like the others, because he's actually a lot more powerful than everybody has thought. So he works on the planet of Nezuko to overthrow Muzan and then try to get themselves to become humans again by killing Muzan. And then Nezuko immediately agrees, like, we should do this, we should kill Muzan. So they devise a plan. They're like, at the next Infinity Castle meeting, they'll tell the Hashira where the Infinity Castle is and tell them when the meeting's happening. So all the Hashira will be able to invade and hopefully kill most of the upper moons. And then Tanjiro and Nezuko can just team up together and kill Muzan. So that's going to be their plan for taking care of the Demon King. So they end up deciding that they need to do this as soon as possible. So they needed to tell Muzan about some bad stuff they're having. They're like, we should have a meeting about Daki and her brother getting demoted and me being the new Upper Moon, so everybody knows who's happening. And also, like, nobody has found the blue flower lily. That's not good. We need to have a meeting about that. So Muzan's like, okay, we'll have a meeting in about 6 months, because that'll be a good time. And then Tanjiro's like, okay. And then he immediately goes training. He's killing tons of the low-level demon slayers. But while he's doing this, he somehow finds time to go to the Hashira. And all the Hashira are like, oh my god, it's the upper moon. But he's like, wait, guys, wait. I have some information. So, in exactly 4 months and 27 days, on March 27th, there's going to be a meeting at this place. You need to go there because Muzan and all the upper moons are going to be there. And that's going to be your chance to take care of the Demon King. And they're like, oh, we can't trust him. But then the leader is like, no, I sense that this boy is not lying. So they end up all agreeing that they will actually go to the Infinity Castle to try to kill Muzan. So after this, Tanjiro goes back home and immediately starts training again. He's getting way more powerful, and he learns a new art. He unlocks sun breathing because he's also a descendant of Yorichi. So he unlocks sun breathing and many other sun breathing powers that comes along with it. He plans on using these new powers to overthrow Muzan at the next meeting. So, in the required amount of time, which was 4 months and 27 days, Muzan has the meeting, and all of the demon upper moons are there. And he's like, okay, guys, listen. We have a new upper moon, which is Tanjiro. And Akaza's like, yeah, I knew that because we took him out together. We took those Hashira out, made them look like fools. And then Muzan's like, yes, but also, nobody's been finding the blue spider lily. And then Muzan just gets so mad, he just starts like beating up all the upper moons except for Tanjiro because Tanjiro is more new. He's like, okay, guys, listen. If you don't do better, I'm actually gonna make Tanjiro become the new upper 2 because he can't replace Yorichi because Yorichi is basically his business partner. And then Tanjiro's like, no, that would be nice, but guess what? And as soon as he says that, 7 Hashira pop in, and all the other ones, and they just start going at the upper moons. The upper moons are caught off guard Upper 5 immediately gets sliced up. He tries to go into his pot, but he can't escape. He ends up getting destroyed almost instantly. Upper Moon 4, he's like already in that form. His neck can't be sliced, but then immediately the best Hashira ends up cutting his head clean off. He can't do anything about it. It's just gone. And then August is like, "What? How did you find this?" And the girl tries teleporting the place around, but the Hashira cannot be tricked. Akaza ends up having a good fight. He goes, Hell Moon, 12 form. But while he's trying to do this, Guyomi comes up to him and impales him with his blade. But this obviously does not kill Akaza, because Akaza kicks him away and does another flame attack, and it comes right off him, ripping Guyomi's head clean off, with Guyomi not expecting it to happen that quickly. Guyomi's eyes turn, and then they start tearing up, even while his head is decapitated from his body. So the Hashira and all the upper moons end up having a war, which basically wipes out both sides, because the upper moons were weakened because Tanjiro was using his love powers to weaken them, but the Hashira was still just barely strong enough to tie. And Kokoshiba, he ends up being like, you know what? I should die here, because look what I become. I become such an evil person. And then he lets himself be killed by the Hashira. So now it's only Muzan. And everybody's so confused why Tanjiro isn't dead. Muzan's like, what? How are you the only one who's alive? I didn't think you were actually the strongest. But then Tanjiro starts laughing. He's like, remember our deal, Muzan? When you first turned me into a demon, I promised that one day I would take revenge. Then he pulls out his two flaming swords and slices right at Muzan, trying to cut off his neck. But Muzan is able to go back, and then he goes on into God Demon mode. He's like, fine, looks like it's your time to die. And then he charges at Tanjiro at full speed, trying to cut him and rip off his head. But Tanjiro says, you should know, Muzan, I am Yorichi's. And then as soon as he says the name, Muzan's eyes become terrified. And then he says, Descendant. And I am even stronger than him now, as I am a demon. Then he says, sun breathing, beautiful flame, and then cuts right through Muzan's entire body, immediately igniting him in flames, but not killing him as his head is still intact. Then Nezuko just watches Tanjiro, but giving him assistance by ending up running over and collecting all of Muzan's body parts and step for his head. Tanjiro lifts up the sword as Muzan says, no, you can't do this. I am the king of the demons. And then he says, but Muzan, your death is very important for making me and Nezuko go back to original forms. And then he cuts out one of Muzan's eyes to use in the potion that will end up turning them back into normal humans. And then he makes the grind and grinds it up into some herbs, all while Muzan is there just suffering. And then him and Nezuko both take it, becoming their normal selves once again. And then Tanjiro walks over to Muzan's head and says, you know, it wasn't a pleasure, and grabs the sword and slams down, immediately decapitating Muzan's head left over and cutting it in completely half. So Muzan's castle starts to disappear while the girl with the guitar is trying to run away, but Tanjiro just automatically teleports right to her and slices her head clean off as well, instantly killing her. Tanjiro looks at Nezuko, knowing they've come a long way, and carries her out of there. He doesn't want her to have to put in any more effort whatsoever, as she has already been through a lot. He takes her to a village to where they sit down and then wonder about all the terrible things they have done and if it was really worth becoming human again. But they remind themselves that they did end up killing the evil demon king, which saved millions of humans, so they can rest at peace. Both of them end up finding nice spouses and living the rest of their life in total happiness and at peace inside of the village. So anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy this part. This would be the final part to my series, What If Tanjiro Became a Demon? And my next thing might take a while to do because I want to learn how to make edits. Like, you know, those AMVs you see? I want to try making one of those, which will take a long time. So I don't know when you will see me next. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And this will be me signing off. Peace out.